Welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I'm Stevie B. Happy to have you all with me today as we are on Minopolis here on planet Calypso for the annual migration of Longtooth and Eomon here on Cali. That happens every year. I call him Eomon. I don't care what you guys call him. That's what I call him. So the reason we're at Minopolis is we want to talk to the unnamed RDI xenobiologist. He has a couple of different missions available for us. The ones that most of you guys are probably going to be interested in are going to be Take a Breather, this one right here, and there's another one called Touch a Nerve, which is not on the list because I already turned it in for the day, but Touch a Nerve is the Longtooth daily mission. These other ones, Circuit Taker and Guts and Glory daily, those are for the Eomon. I call him Eomon. Like I said, I don't care what you guys call him. It's E-O-M-O-N, so I call him Eomon. This further RDI Eomon research here at the top, you can probably ignore that because the stuff that you would need for that really doesn't drop in the loot anymore. I have a completely different video that will go over that in detail later on that I shot way back when that I need to get uploaded for you guys. So let's get right into it. I'm going to head over to Cape Corinth. So most of you are probably already fairly familiar with the annual migration that we do every summer. It lasts about a month. Sometimes it can be a little bit longer. But this is the only time of year we can hunt these two mobs. They've both got great Codex with Type 4 rewards at 5, 15, and 25. And I'm actually going to use a teleportation chip, and I'm going to jump to where I want to go at the moment. Let's get some sips to get this started off right. So I've got plenty of good information for those of you wanting to participate in migration this year. Please give me a second to get over here and get started myself, and I will get to all the information you guys are going to want to have if you do not have it already. So, okay, here we go. Lots of red dots on my radar. Loving that. I'm going to pop me a candy cane real quick so I can shoot a little bit faster than normal. Pop me a candy cane real quick. There we go. And let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, let me turn the sound down just a hair for you guys. There we go. First things first, so if you are a lower level player and you're wanting to get in on the action, then obviously you're not going to be able to take on some of the biggest mobs in game. I believe Eomon Young start at like level 57. And they hit like tanks. I think they've got 5,000 HP, 5,500 HP, somewhere in that range. So you're going to need to be pretty high level, have some pretty ridiculous defense skills, some pretty ridiculous gear to even attempt to go after those. Personally, I have never hunted one before. I do intend to hunt some this summer before migration is over. However, it's something that I'm probably going to have a healer with me, so I'm waiting on a buddy of mine to be on so we can kind of do a team hunt together. And obviously work has been an issue. So what about the rest of us? What about the rest of the players who are wanting to try this out, even if they are lower level? Well, good news is there are some static spawns of Longtooth around Calypso. And specifically, there is a pretty good spawn at Chug's Hideout that has a lot of the adolescents that are level 4. And I believe they only have 320 HP. So that is a very, very popular spot with lower level players. Obviously, I went to Cape Corinth and then I just jumped to a waypoint. So how did I know exactly where to jump to? Well, there is actually a really great summer migration map that somebody put together and put on Planet Calypso forum. And I'm going to put a link to the map and to that forum post that has the map in it in the description of today's video. And the reason I love this is it is so full of amazing research over the past couple of years. It actually has waypoints for all the different migration points that are along the path for each mob, and it also has information about where you can go to find static spawns that do not move, and you can kind of pick by level, by how big they are, stuff like that. So it's got all the information you need. I find that the biggest problem people are having is people keep forgetting to go get the daily mission. Like they remember at the very beginning of Mayhem, or I'm sorry, not Mayhem, migration, and then they'll do it once or twice, and then they forget to go pick it up again. I even almost forgot it today. I got started. I was about 20 minutes in. I was like, oh, crap, I forgot to go get the daily mission. And that daily mission, it rewards you with a daily token and some Blazar fragments. Obviously, the Longtooth one has, I believe, 200 Blazar fragments per day. And the bigger one for the Eomon, I believe, is closer to like 500 Blazar fragments. Could be wrong on that. But I know that the Longtooth one is 200 Blazar fragments a day. So pretty good mission to just throw in there. But the biggest thing is most people are going to be wanting to do these mainly because of this bigger mission, this take a breather mission that I've got active. As you can see, I'm filling the progress bar as I hunt. I'm also doing some Codex repeat. Well, whenever I get done with this take a breather mission, once I get all the sampling volume that I need, I will be able to go select a ELM limited weapon as a mission reward. And the one that most people are going to want to get, do I have it on me? It is, no I don't. It is the Camo Arms Marine Stalker ELM Edition. Camo Arms Marine Stalker ELM Edition. And that is a pretty good weapon. Most people use it for PvP. It's only got 1 PED TT value like all ELM weapons, but it's got really, really, really freakishly low decay. So it's almost all ammo burn with virtually no decay. I mean, those things will last forever if you put the right extender on them. And because of that, they do have pretty good markup. They sell in the area of, I believe, 150 PED or so, give or take. I've seen them go as high as 200 PED during times of higher demand. And obviously, if you get one that's got a really good tier increase rate, you might get lucky and be able to get even a little bit more out of it. So getting those Camo Arms Marine Stalker ELMs as the mission reward is the main reason people do this mission. And when you stack the Codex with this mission, with the daily that rewards you with the Blazar fragments, overall it's not horrible. It's actually a pretty good stack. Now, in addition to that, yes, there is the chance to loot some pretty good stuff. But we need to take a moment to talk about that because people seem to think that everybody has an equal chance of looting this stuff, and that's just not the case. So first of all, in your loot pool, as just basic loot, the biggest thing you're going to be looking for is strong boxes. And they do not drop nearly as often during migration as they do during mayhem. I will just tell you that up front. In the typical mayhems that we used to do, the Grindfest mayhems and the competition mayhems, lots and lots of boxes would drop. Hunting, migration, and trying to get boxes to drop, you will get some. It's just not going to be nearly as big of a stack as what you would normally expect or be used to. I don't know how the boxes are dropping inside of the Assault Mayhem that's currently going on, mainly because I'm really not participating in it. It's not my cup of tea, it's not my thing, and quite frankly, I just don't get any enjoyment out of it, so I'm not doing it. So I'm sure that the drop rate inside the Assault Mayhem instance may be a little bit better, but needless to say, you can expect there's going to be a much smaller supply of these summer boxes than there would be of like Halloween or Christmas boxes. And because of that, if we have a smaller supply and there's pretty decent demand, we might be able to see a pretty decent premium for summer boxes over some of the other seasonal boxes that we would usually sell. Now, that being said, let's talk about the amazing unlimited gear. Yes, from Longtooth you can get some pretty good unlimited gear, but the real prizes, the real best of the best, is obviously going to be in the Eomon waiting to be found. You're talking some of the best sniper rifles in game. You're talking mod shadow armor that for years we thought would only be available to the dev team. You're talking probably some really rare Mind Force chips that are unlimited. Pretty much the rarest of the rare gear, Angel, Improved Angel, or I think maybe even Mod Angel might drop from Eomon. Excavators that are super rare and stuff like that. Even mining gear that's uber rare tends to drop from Eomon. So the best gear in the game does tend to drop during migration, mostly from Eomon. Some of it might be in the loot pool for Longtooth. Not quite as heavy on the unlimited goodies in the Longtooth loot pool, but there are a few. But people seem to think that they have an equal chance of looting this stuff, and that's just not reality. You have to know how to loot this stuff. So the secret to looting this stuff is, the first thing you want to do is when you find a mob, you want to and then after you've done that, before you actually get started, what you want to be sure you do is and then if you do that, and you also make sure that you then you might have a chance at looting something good. Now, I know most of you are probably rolling your eyes right now. Here's the deal. I'm done giving away the best secrets in the game. I want you guys to enjoy the game. I want you to have a lot of fun with the game. I am done giving away the best secrets in the game. It's just not going to happen anymore. Period, point blank, end of story. Just because of some of the things that have happened, some of the ways people are, some of just the social interactions. And not to mention that, but why should I? So I don't mind putting out videos for you guys. I don't mind making them as informative and helpful as I can, but obviously I'm done shooting myself in the foot. just to give away some of the best secrets in the game. I tend to find that, some people just are beyond help. I had a guy the other day who didn't understand why he should buy a 200 PED TT extender P20 to put on his limited Armatrix gear, because his limited Armatrix gear only had a TT value of 50 PED. He could not wrap his head around the fact that the extender absorbs part of the decay, and you're paying a higher markup for the weapon than you are for the extender. He could not understand the math behind it. I still run into people who can't wrap their head around the concept that you're not going to make money off Mindark. You're going to have to make money off selling loot to other players. Otherwise, Mindark wouldn't have a way to keep the lights on. So for all of those reasons and more, I'm not going to tell you guys how to loot the best gear in game. But needless to say, no, it's not an equal opportunity for everybody. I mean, clearly somebody like Messi or Eve, who has spent countless hours in this game learning how the game works, learning how the algorithms work, investing tens of thousands of dollars into skills and the best gear and the best weapons, obviously that person is going to have an edge over a brand new player who is using a Bunkin spare rifle or, a starter pack weapon. So, I mean, just like anything else in life, what you put into it is what you get out. How you prepare determines how it goes for you in the end. But the biggest thing is, my number one rule I would tell everybody, don't do migration simply because you're planning on looting something amazing. That should not be the goal. The goal should be to have fun, to take advantage of the amazing Codex, to have some fun hunting stuff that we can't normally hunt throughout the year. And then in the process, you get some boxes, you get some daily tokens, you get some Blazar fragments. Hopefully it doesn't hit your PED card too hard. And at the end of the day, as long as you have fun and you're able to skill up and have a good time, that's what really matters. And so far, that seems to be what most people are doing. Most people seem to be having an absolute blast with migration, which is why I love migration so much. The way I view it, if you manage to loot something uber rare, uber valuable, good for you, icing on top of the cake. But that should be the icing on top of the cake, not the cake itself. The cake itself should be Codex rewards. It should be Blazar fragments, daily tokens, limited ELM weapons that you're able to either get as mission rewards or pull out of the loot pool, because occasionally they will pull out of the loot pool even though they're 1 PED TT ELM weapons, and they have pretty good markup to them. So if you make your cake out of everything else, then the icing that goes on it is if you manage to get your hands on one of those absolutely amazing pools. So guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. I've got a lot more coming. I've already got some videos shot that I need to upload this week, and I've got a lot more videos planned. There's a lot of great stuff going on in Entropia. For now, I'm going to leave it there. Sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Guys, do me a favor. In the comments down below, let me know, what is your favorite part of migration? Specifically, what are you hunting? And what are the loots that you guys are going for? What are the specific items you guys are looking to pull out of the loot pool? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be back with more for you next week. Take care, guys.